Welcome ladies to the first installment of my video blogs. I love getting on video and I love sharing my ethos, and I feel that I've got more to say and it's going to come out in the right way if I just talk it as opposed to writing it. So welcome. So the first topic of my video blog series is the only diet that worked for me. And I hate to break it to you, the only diet that worked was to not diet. I've been there. I've been on that cycle of trying all these new things, of saying that I'm gonna get to the gym, that I'm not gonna have wine until the weekend, that I'm not gonna eat sugar, that I'm not gonna have carbs and bread and this and that. And you know what? I broke in the first few days, as I know many women that I talk to do as well. It's just that vicious self-sabotaging cycle that just keeps happening. So the only diet that worked for me was to create that lifestyle that just feels amazing. And how I did that was by looking at my entire life. It actually asked me to go quite deep, because I was looking at my lifestyle and my socializing and having wine and having the biscuits and the chocolate and all of the other stuff to escape what I needed to address in my life. So there were things that were going on, and rather than address why they were happening and what was missing within me, I would seek this solace in that glass of wine. So it was that glass of wine at the end of a working day, or it'd be going out and socializing with my friends, which I loved, but I was doing it all the time. And I was having 2 to 3 glasses of wine a night, and I wasn't reaching my health goals. My body was just feeling yuck. My motivation was yuck. So then I would go to the gym and I would punish myself, literally punish myself. And I would say ridiculous things like, if I do this gym class and if I don't stop in this gym class, then this guy is gonna like me. Seriously warped thinking. Or that if I do this gym class and if I do it without stopping, then my circumference of my thigh is going to reach a certain freaking number. That's how bad it was. So that's why I really want to take home and share just how not being on a diet and how creating that healthy lifestyle has been so much better for up here. And that's really what I want to help women do. So the first thing that I did is I started changing my mindset. I started looking at the things that I needed to address that were not making me feel very good, but I was still going to do them anyway. So it wasn't that I was hiding and trying to find something else to do instead of what I know is best for me. I actually dug deep and I looked at what I needed to change and I needed to do. So I healed my broken soul. And I don't say that lightly. Where I went to the gym, that was my punishment. Then the gym became my happy place, because I found a way of exercising that absolutely made me thrive. And it just so happened that there was an amazing community there as well. So I surrounded myself with good people. I surrounded myself with people that wanted to see me grow. And I spent more time at the gym and less time doing the stuff that didn't serve me very well. There was a really, really profound moment. And that moment was, it would be about 5 years ago now. I was in my bedroom, I was putting some body lotion on, and I remember standing in the mirror, and it was summer, and I'd had a tan like this. I go really dark, thanks mum. She's from the Caribbean, hence the thanks mum. And I was putting body lotion on, and I was actually admiring my muscles in the mirror. And in that moment, I suddenly said to myself, oh my gosh, rather than beating myself up and pinching the non-existent fat, I was celebrating my body for its strength that it had, that I could lift these amazing weights in the gym. And I realized that life started getting better. And it wasn't a conscious change. It just started getting better once I changed my mindset and I started doing things that I really wanted to do. So I healed my soul. I looked at what was missing, and instead of seeking it where I used to find it, I found it in things that made me feel better. So it included going to the gym, like I said, using food as fuel to help me feel good, It was hanging out with people that were conducive to me. So it wasn't always going out for those wines, but it was going out for walks on the weekend, going for a brunch, doing something that had an activity involved to it, something that made my heart sing. I listened to music a lot more. I started getting back into my music and my dancing. I surrounded myself with people that made me feel good. So I reached out to those friends that made me feel good, and I was honest with them. I told them about my journey. I told them what was happening and what was going through, and that they were there to support me, and they weren't just there for the good times, which is what they knew me as. I actually said to them, look, I'm not in a great space right now. I need your help. Can you please help me? And we just hung out, and they were phenomenal. I've touched on this, but I changed my habits that were not conducive to my lifestyle. So I stopped buying the biscuits and the bottle of wine that stayed in my pantry, and instead I replaced it with foods that made me feel good. So that's another thing. I started tuning in. I started listening to my body and felt into what made me bloat, what made me tired, what gave me gas, what didn't make me feel so good. And I cut it out. I stopped it. And I brought in foods that made me feel good. Now, I did seek out some help. In my CrossFit gym, we did a challenge, and we looked at the types of nutrition that made us feel good, and that made me exercise better, and made me lift heavier, and made me run faster, and all of these amazing things. So then it started kind of coming into my head that food is a fuel to make you feel good. When I started feeling better, I started making better choices, and that upward spiral began. Instead of that downward spiral, it was going up. Hence that situation in the mirror of celebrating my body. From there, my ethos was born. I choose to feel good. And anything that does not serve that feeling gets the sack. Off you go. Because why on earth would I do things that don't make me feel good? And that comes down to what I'm putting into my body, who I spend my time with, the arguments that I choose to bring up and argue about, or the stuff that I just choose to let go because it just feels better. Seriously, that's all I did. Then I started asking myself, am I hungry? In this moment, when I'm feeling a little bit shit, when I'm feeling emotional, when I'm tired, when I was hungover, I asked myself, am I hungry? And I just ignored it. I just ate for that feeling because it started making me feel better in that instant, but then I felt shit in that instant as well, because you know that you're never gonna fill that hole from just eating, and you're just gonna eat and feel terrible, or in my case, drink and have another glass of wine, and it just didn't feel good. My body felt sluggish, it felt tired. A big thing that I did is I started enjoying those little moments in life that I let myself bypass, or that bypassed me. I started laughing at memes my friend would send me. I started doing the things that I loved. I went for walks in the morning and just cleared my mind. I put my favorite music in my ears, and I would just go for a fast walk and get set up for my day. I started making decisions to help me feel good in alignment with my ethos, which was I choose to feel good. So those, I think maybe 6 or 7 elements are how I have enabled myself to build a healthy lifestyle that feels good. I did not cut out the alcohol. I still go out. Last night I had a date night. I went out and I enjoy meals and dining and drinking and sumptuous foods. We were at Spanish tapas bar last night. I loved it. I went to a concert. I probably had about 5 drinks, but you know what? It was soul food. I had the best time. So I started celebrating those moments. So here is the end of my first video blog. I hope you've enjoyed it. I would love to hear what resonates, what lands for you. What are you having struggles with? I've got below this a download to help you start dealing with the self-sabotage of what you know is right for your life and for your body. So just click that link and let me know how that goes for you. Thanks, ladies.